Welcome everybody to Snow Search, where my weather brother Sean Sublett and I from the Richmond Times-Dispatch and I try to find snow and cold for the following week. However, Sean, try is the key word in this statement, isn't it?
Man, you know it. You know, we have been trying and trying and trying, and we repeatedly come up empty. We do see a few signs, but not really soon. It would be toward February, and we'll get to more of that in a minute. But a quick overview of what Snow Search is for those of you joining us for the first time. What we're looking at here, we're familiar with the classic 7-day forecast, but we want to look beyond that 8 to 14-day time frame. So we're looking for cold and opportunities for snow from Jersey to Carolina for the week of January 29th. And we're looking for general trends, whether or not the environment is favorable to produce snow. Can't really tell you, yeah, it's going to snow on, February 2nd or whatever.
Groundhog
But we're
Day.
just looking, we're not yet, we can't. But we're just kind of looking for these types of things, hosted by myself and, of course, my brother there in Atlantic City, Joe Martucci. So,
Yeah.
as I think most of us know, we are late in the season for getting our first snow. Up on the screen, these are some of the dates for the latest first snow on record for Virginia and then going up into New Jersey. In the Roanoke Valley, we're getting awfully close. The latest first snow is the 6th of February. Now, obviously, farther south, it's a different deal. In my backyard here in Richmond, Virginia, not till the 26th of February. And obviously, farther south, sometimes it doesn't even show up until March. But, the teleconnections, Joe, also don't really favor snow a whole lot in the near future either.
Yeah, and we've been showing this to everybody here for a few weeks now, and there's been times where they almost line up for favorability, but it hasn't fully connected. And this week, or I should say next week, definitely not fully connecting here. So this is the North Atlantic Oscillation. It will be positive. That's where you see that dashed black line with those red squiggles around it. The red squiggles are the ensemble member runs, or things that are in the realm of possibility what could happen with the NAO. In short, this is all positive, and that means less likely for East Coast cold and snow here. Then we take you to the Arctic Oscillation, similar to the North Atlantic Oscillation. When you're positive, snow probably isn't going to come, or if it does, it would be something like an Alberta Clipper that drops an inch or two of snow. Point is, nothing is pointing towards the cold and snowy direction. And then we have the Pacific North Atlantic Index here. Now, we're generally about neutral, so we'll say equal chances for eastern U.S. cold. One thing I will say, Sean, is we are coming out of that super mild pattern that we've had for most of January. It looks to be more seasonable as we go
Yeah.
into our first week of February here, a little above average, but still nothing below average here across the area, because that polar vortex is spinning like a top at the top
Yeah.
of planet Earth.
Y- Yeah, I mean, it really has kind of locked into place. And so many times we hear about the polar vortex, but what actually is it? It's a big spinning mass of cold air at the top of the earth, is the short version of that. But it's never a perfect circle. Like anything else, because the earth spins, it kind of wobbles here and there. And sometimes you get these dips in the polar vortex farther to the south. When it dips farther to the south over North America, that's when we tend to get our cold outbreaks, like what we had here in the eastern North America right around Christmas. But we have not seen a repeat performance of this anytime in the near future, in the recent past or the near future. We do see the polar vortex kind of hanging out over Hudson Bay in eastern Canada, not so much in the next day or two, but in the extended forecast period. And that's why we think there's at least a tiny chance we might see something regarding snow. Not so much this week, but probably later on in the second week, or maybe even into week 3, as we like to call it. Joe, take us through this upper air pattern, man.
Yeah, so like Sean said, we got this low pressure system just spinning over Hudson Bay. That's where you see that L with those purples on the map. Now this is January 28th. Watch where that L goes, or I should say doesn't go. It pretty much
Hmm.
spins like a top there. And there's going to be a low pressure system that kind of rides along the bottom of this trough or area of low pressure that will get to our way February 2nd or 3rd ish. And then there's another thing we're looking out for the 5th into the 6th of February. We'll go to our map here and show you, the risk for plowable snow. Sean, I mean, we're really, pulling hairs here at
We
trying to
are,
find
man.
it. I was
It's
looking
just
for the
like we're
right words to
stretching.
say.
We're trying so hard. We're like, well, maybe this thing might happen 10, 12, 14 days from now. So on the map, the lighter blue shows you more of an area where there's a low chance for plowable snow. And again, this is the first week in February. This is Groundhog Day. What we're kind of looking at is potential for a coastal storm to develop around the 4th or the 5th of February. So we're a good 2 weeks out. So to promise anything 2 weeks out is a bit of a promise, to be sure. But in terms of trying to find something, that's where we're kind of looking for the time being. So we'll say low chance to get some plowable snow for Virginia and eastern Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey. Better chances much farther northward up toward the Great Lakes. So I
Yeah.
think it's really going to be tough. A lot of these places will probably see their first snow of the year, the latest one on record, but we'll see how it plays out,
Yeah,
Joe.
and the one thing we will say though, this is risk of plowable snow, 3 inches or more. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that, where I am in South Jersey could see an inch with this and it changes over to rain. We're just really focusing on that stronger kind of storm, the storm that there's a little bit of buildup for. It just doesn't look to be that. I mean, you have a better chance of
No.
seeing lightning than you do seeing snow here over the next couple of weeks here. So let me recap for you. This is the week of January 29th. Chilly, but not cold. I think we're fairly seasonable.
Yeah.
But seasonable doesn't always cut it for snow, especially if you're down Sean's way in Virginia and in North Carolina. Rain's most likely with these storms over, next week and going into early part of the following week. And then, like Sean said, a minor chance for, some kind of plowable snow between the 2nd to the 5th. There's 2 systems within that time frame we're
Yeah.
looking for. One the 2nd and 3rd, one around the 5th. But like we said at the beginning, we're trying to find snow if you're a snow lover out there, but trying is the key word on this. We can't make the snow happen like the snow we see falling around us in the background, Sean.
Yeah, that's called wish casting, which I know a couple of people, and I've been guilty of it in the past. You really want something to happen, and you want to look at the data a certain way. Well, it might, then again, it might not. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough. So, what other things are you searching for
Ah,
this week, Joe?
yeah. So, well, I'm searching for my teeth. Actually, I'm going to the dentist appointment a little bit later today. We're gonna get a little dental work done. So how about that, Sean? Well, I'll have nice, beautiful new teeth. How about that?
Yeah, I can't beat that. I can't beat that. The best news I have is my daughter's probably found herself a new apartment
Cool.
up there in Greater Philadelphia. So I'm searching for a way to help her get moved in. Probably not so much next week or two, but very happy for her to kind of branch out on her own, and very excited for that.
Yeah, very exciting. And hopefully she
Mhm.
searched and found a good deal as well.
We do think it's a good deal. She
Good.
called her old man yesterday. We talked about it. We like what we're seeing there in Philly.
Beautiful. Well, best of luck to her in Philly. And thank you, everybody, for watching this week's Snow Search. You can follow us right above our heads here on any kind of social you would like. And we'll be back with you next week. We will try to find some more snow for you. But until then, I'm Joe Martucci. He's Sean Sublett. We'll talk to everyone later.